All right, this is section 4-6 on negative exponents. So we're going to start with a key concept that's on page 209. It says, and this will be a little bit tricky, just so we're aware. This says a to the negative n exponent is the same as 1 over a to the n exponent. So basically what happens is we put this over 1. Anytime you have a negative exponent, it's best to think of it in a fraction. And all you're doing is taking this whole thing to the bottom side and making the negative exponent positive. So that's basically all it starts with. So an example of this, if we put in numbers, would be like 5 to the negative 4th power. Put that over 1 and then just flip it to the other side, but make the exponent positive. So that ends up what happens to it, 1 over 5 to the 4th. And obviously you could do 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 and get another number, but it's just wanting you to realize that 5 to the negative 4th is the same as 1 over 5 to the positive 4th. That's the recognition that you guys need to have for this section. Here's another example. X to the, let's start with example number 1. We've got letter A is 6 to the negative 2 power. So we put that over 1 and then we flip it to the other side and make the exponent positive. So that's letter A. And then letter B says x to the negative 5th. So again, put that over 1, flip it to the other side, and make the exponent positive. So that works both ways. Even when the exponent is negative on the bottom, you can still flip that around. Let's try another example. Let's try example number 2. Example number 2 says write 1/9 as an expression using a negative exponent. So this is the same as 1 over 3 times 3, which is 1 over 3 squared. And then to make this with the negative exponent, what we do is we take that and put it back on the other side and change the sign on the exponent. So this would be back to 3 to the negative 2 power. And you would times it by 1. The 1 is up there, so you're timesing it by 1, but just realize that's the same as just 3 to the negative 2. You don't have to put that times 1. So that's your answer for example 2. Let's try example 3. Example 3 says geckos have tiny hairs on the bottom of their feet called setae. These setae are about 0.000001 meters long. Write the decimal as a fraction and as a power of 10. So first of all, we need to understand what place this is in. This is tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths, millionths. So this is equal to 1/1,000,000th. And 1,000,000 as a power with an exponent. And it's important to know that 1,000,000 with a exponent would be 10 to the 6th power. So what they're wanting you to do is write this as 1 over 10 to the 6th. But then they also want you to write that, flipping that around. So we're going to take this whole thing and put it on top, which gives us 10 to the negative 6 power. Alright, so this over here was just extra information to get us from here to there. Alright, so the final answer is 10 to the negative 6 power and 1 over 1,000,000. Those are the two answers. Let's try example number 4. Example 4 says evaluate n to the negative 3 if n is 2. So this is 2 to the negative 3, which we know anytime we have a negative exponent, put this over 1, put it in a fraction. It might already be in a fraction, but put it in a fraction if it's not, and flip it to the other side and make the exponent positive, or change the sign of it. So what is 2 to the third power? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, so this is 1 over 8 as the answer. That is all. Good luck.